Good morning. This is the Easthampton Commission on Disabilities meeting for April 6th of 2021. I'm gonna start the meeting, but we're missing a couple of people that I have not heard from. So can I start the meeting? Is that a quorum? Yeah, right?
How many people are on the committee?
Well, now we have a new one, but I don't know if it officially went through. So 7, I think, correct? So 2, 3, so we need one more.
So quorum is 4 people?
Yeah, so we need one more.
So we have you, Eli, Bryce, and Bobby. So that's 4.
Oh, that's true. Thank you. Can't do math apparently this morning. So, okay. Well, the first thing that I wanted to talk about is that we had a new member apply. That's Kate. And so she's going to take just a couple of minutes to introduce herself, and then we can all say who we are.
Hi, everyone. My name's Kate De Silva, and I am the Executive Director of Valley Educational Associates. We serve adults with developmental disabilities throughout Western Mass in Springfield, Chicopee, and West Hatfield. We primarily do day programming services with our folks, as well as employment in the community. So this opportunity to join this commission is very exciting to me. I've been with the agency since 2004, so I'm very interested in serving folks with disabilities of all types. And I'm also a new Easthampton resident. My husband and I bought a house here in June, so the opportunity to get more involved in the community is very exciting, and it seems to be a perfect match with my background. So thank you for inviting me.
I'm super excited that you're here. Okay, so Angelique, I'm the chair. I've been the chair for like the last year. If we just want to go around and introduce who we are.
I'm Eli Damon. I'm the vice chair, and I've been on the committee for, I don't know, a number of years. I can't remember.
I'm Jamie Webb. I'm the assistant planner for the city. I provide some administrative support along with Jeff Bagg, who's not here right now.
I'm Bob Nicholas. I live in Easthampton.
I live in Easthampton.
Glad you're here. Okay. And then, did you want to introduce yourself and say who you are?
So hi, my name is Sarah Chaplin. I am a supervisor here at Riverside Industries, and I am supporting Bryce and Bob with being on the COD.
Nice. I thought that looked familiar. I'm very friendly with Shar over there, so.
Okay. Nice. So we're missing Kelsey, but you'll meet her next time. And yeah, we're missing Jeff Brown, who's another member. I didn't hear from him whether or not he was coming. And then Jeff Bagg, who I've not heard if they're coming. And I don't see any of those people in the waiting room, but I will keep my eyes open. Okay. Thank you for introducing yourself. I appreciate it. And I'm really glad that you applied. So this is, previously I had been telling people that there was someone that wanted to come on, but needed to figure out if they could fit it in their schedule. So we're happy to have you. So today, Eli is going to take over the secretary position of taking minutes because Kelsey is not here. So I'm just going to go through a couple of quick things, and then we can do some of the issues that we've been wanting to talk about. So the first thing I was going to talk about is the city council meeting that I went to on behalf of, representing the COD. And they were so nice and so gracious and happy to have me. I went there with the intention of just introducing ourselves in hopes of collaborating in the future. I did bring up, the fact that we don't have a budget for just everyday things, and they seemed pretty sympathetic to that and said they could help. Also, we had been discussing closed captioning, so that's another thing. Like they had already been talking about whether or not they wanted do some funds with closed captioning on their part, and so it was just like a perfect storm, a good kind of storm, a tropical storm. I don't know. Because exactly what I was asking for, they were already working on. And so out of that came a newspaper article. The Reminder has written an article. I don't know when they're going to come out, but in terms of us having visibility, because most people don't know we're here. So that's pretty exciting I'll let you guys know when the article comes out, when they let me know, and then I'll send it to you. The other little piece is what we're working on is a contact list for just the members. So if you haven't already submitted your information to me or Kelsey, if you could do that, that'd be great, because we're updating that document. Let's see what else. We as a group, the COD, for those who weren't here, we were talking about redoing the city ordinance around shoveling the snow and just snow care in general. And actually the city council had sent out an email to all the chairs and whatnot, like they want to redo some city ordinances. So again, it lined up perfectly. So at some point, I was hoping to work on that a little bit this meeting. Jeff's not here though, so I don't know if we can work on it. Jamie, would you know enough about that for us to work on that a little bit this meeting?
I'm familiar with the current ordinance, and I believe that the city council was just looking for an email to help them to start identifying what those areas are that might have sort of biases in the ordinances. So we should be able to work on that without Jeff. Okay.
I'm trying to think what else, because we have 3 members missing. So Kelsey was going to do the update on the closed captioning, talking to Easthampton TV. So I don't have that update. She was also going to do an update on the community involvement subcommittee for the calendar of events. Yeah, she was going to do quite a bit this meeting. So also the survey. Eli, has there been any updates or anything with you guys on the survey?
No, we haven't met since the last time we talked about it.
Okay.
The last time we talked about it in these meetings.
Yes. Okay. I'm just gonna check the weight room just to make sure there's nobody else there. No, I don't see anybody there. Okay. So the next, since we have to skip over quite a bit, we are also The next line item, we were going to be looking at making some 1 year, 3 year, 5 year type of goals. I know that we kind of did like a little example with the snow removal. Let's see. Yeah, like a roadmap and action plan for goals for the COD. Well, let me just ask you guys, like, do you guys have things that you hope the COD covers that isn't covering, or you would like to cover better, or, I mean, besides, we do have the snow removal.
Yeah, I mean, that's been an ongoing problem for a long time. So
Oh, I totally forgot to ask everybody to go over the minutes. I'm sorry, guys. I'm all out of order. That was back in the beginning. So for those of you that were here last meeting, can you just take a look at the minutes if you haven't already, just to make sure? I'll give you a few minutes to make sure we didn't miss anything. And then you can tell me when you're done looking at them. They should be in the last email I sent you. Did folks find it and they're looking at it?
Angelique, we weren't at the meeting last meeting.
Yeah.
So, but I will go over the minutes with the guys after this meeting.
Okay. Hold on one second. No, there's like an alarm going off. Hopefully you guys can't hear the alarm going off. Okay, so did folks find the minutes? Because I can't see all of you, so. Because I'm gonna make a motion to approve the minutes. I've read them. I don't see anything missing, so. Do I have a second for that? Or do you need more time? Eli, did you get a chance to look at them?
Oh, I did not. It's
It's a lot of
Yeah,
minutes.
I did not. I'm sorry.
That's okay. So what do you do in that?
Why
in
don't
that
we
sense,
take
Jamie?
why don't we table this till the next meeting when we have more members present and give more people time to review it? And then at the next meeting, we'll have 2 sets of minutes to review and approve.
Okay, awesome. All right, we'll go back to the business we were working on. So you, Jamie, you said we can work on an email that we can send about the Snow City ordinance together? Okay,
Yeah.
can you just read that ordinance out loud again so that everybody can hear it? Would you be able to do that?
It goes on for 2 pages, so
Oh,
I think that I'd rather not read it out loud.
yeah.
I can, if you give me a few minutes, I can pull it up for everyone to read on screen.
That's perfect.
You'll also have to make me a co-host so I can share my screen.
Can you email it?
Also email it. Yeah, I'm sure she can email it after as well.
Can everyone read that?
Yes, I can. Wow. Holy moly. Okay. Yes. Okay. And and you're also able to email this to us?
Yeah, it's online. It's under the city's ordinances on the homepage. So easthamptonma.gov, and then should be able to find it under the city's ordinances. It's the general ordinances.
Okay.
I can, also send. I'll try to send this out after the meeting.
Okay. Okay, so Kate, because you're new, I'm just gonna talk briefly about why we're pulling this up. So the past couple years, people are saying there's certain parts of Easthampton that aren't shoveled. People can't get through with their wheelchairs or otherwise. And so unfortunately, there are parts of Easthampton where it almost seems like nobody handles it. So we've been talking about that. Like it doesn't seem to be public or private, or we don't know who or what. Even if it is private, that like landlords aren't clearing out their snow, and what's the snow removal process and what actually happens. And so this last meeting right before this meeting, I had actually spoken to the police officers to see what they actually do. Because that's the next step. Like if you have a landlord and you're not clearing your snow, the next step is to call the police. And I'm sure a lot of people don't actually know that. And so outside of that, they told me that they had a flyer that they give. So I emailed the flyer out to everybody, which I can email it to you. So that's the other piece. Did everybody get a chance to look at the police flyer? What happens when there's the snow removal hasn't happened and they get a warning? the landlords get a warning or whomever. Did you guys get a chance to see that at all?
We did not, no.
Okay. You don't think you got it, or you didn't get a chance to look at it?
I've got to look. We might have gotten it. I don't know
Okay.
for sure. I'll double check and then I'll email you after if we didn't get it.
Okay.
But I did ask these gentlemen, obviously they're residents, and they don't know about it, so.
Right. Okay. Well, I can send it again. I would put it up on the screen, but I actually don't know how. And we're looking at this right at this minute anyways.
Is that the email you sent on where is it? On March 10th or no, March 30th? I don't know. Never mind.
No, it would have been before that because March
Okay.
30th, I think, was the email for this meeting. I sent it a separate one all by itself with the police flyer in it
Okay.
several weeks ago.
I don't think I ever saw that. I
Okay.
remember.
I'll go back and I'll resend it so that people can read that. Okay, so we, Kate, we had been talking about, when was this written, Jamie? 1940 something? I feel like you said, and that it might need some updating. And then coincidentally, when I went to the city council meeting, they were talking about, do any of the chairs have ordinances that they want updated, and we can work on it and stuff like that. So
Yeah, it was originally written in 1945. They added some section about fines in 2006.
okay, fine, in 2006.
So if I was going to rewrite this, I would just write it as to tie sidewalk maintenance to roadway maintenance, right? I would just say, the city will maintain sidewalks to the same standard and on the same schedule as they do roadways.
There you go. Where is that part, Eli? Is it right in the beginning?
That isn't any part. I would just, that part is, just what I think it should be.
Got it. Yeah.
Angelique, I did find that email that you sent out about the snow clearing follow-up,
Okay.
but you did not actually attach the flyer. You just sent out the email from the police officer.
Oh, and the flyer's not attached to that?
The flyer was not attached when you sent it out.
That's so odd. Okay. Well, I'm sorry, guys. Okay. I will definitely take care of that. Darn. Okay. So you're saying this is 2 pages. So that's
It's actually, it's just what's on this one page. I'm sorry. It does continue.
oh,
And there are
okay.
things about snow and ice removal, but it continues with barriers to prevent snow and ice from falling from building roofs onto sidewalk. And it also has a little bit before it, which I was counting about
Okay.
riding vehicles and obstructing sidewalks by placing boxes and things like that, which, tangentially related. But this is what we're looking at here is what I think people have identified as the problematic ordinance for discussion.
So should we just take a few minutes and just read it over real quick to get familiar with it? Jamie, you think that's the best? Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, I'm not really sure what the city councilors were exactly looking for, if they wanted an entire rewrite or if they just wanted you to say they should look at this ordinance because it has hidden biases in there that they should review, or if you wanted to give them some pointers for how you would rewrite it.
I think
There's a lot of different ways that the committee can go, so it's really up to the commission to determine which way.
I believe they were asking for pointers. That was my understanding. I don't think they were asking for us to rewrite it, but I can also double check and ask.
I don't think that they were looking for you to rewrite it.
Yeah. Yeah, that would be a lot. Okay, so can you just take 2 minutes and, just look at it on your own, since we have the time right now? Okay. I'm gonna put myself in. Okay, did everybody get a chance to read at least a portion of it?
Yep.
Okay, so
I did.
obviously very, very wordy. Um, all right, so I liked where you were going, Eli, the sidewalks to be treated the same way the roadways.
Thank you.
Kate, did you notice anything that you think is missing or we could add in there that might be helpful?
I think one thing that stood out to me was in terms of accessibility, maybe the appeals, the way people file the appeals by written request could be updated to be more inclusive to folks who might not be able to appeal in that manner.
Yeah, we actually, that ties into the last meeting, we had a guest, Jeff Dugan, who's from the Massachusetts Office of Disability. And so unfortunately, a lot of this, like they can't file with Easthampton, they would have to file with the MOD. And so we invited him to kind of start talking to us, introduce himself and start talking to us about what happens on the other side of when somebody files,
Mm-hmm.
a complaint and people aren't. And so at some point we're going to have him back so he can continue to talk to us about it. But yeah, you're right. It should, written request is not necessarily, yeah, I agree. So what would you put instead? Just if you have any, if you have any ideas.
I don't at the moment.
Like
Maybe a verbal request.
yeah.
Yeah, just to add that as an option that they have in a way for someone to call and make a verbal request. Also, maybe it doesn't say you can send it via email, the written request, so
Right.
maybe an email option.
Yeah.
And then the other thing I noticed is maybe just adding a little more detail regarding the enforcement of the policy. It says it shall devolve upon the police department, but maybe making that a little bit more, stand out a little bit more so that folks know what to do if they do have an issue. Like you mentioned, the language is a little antiquated at this point.
So, Angelique, when we first started talking about this, this was seen also as a, well, I guess the city council's looking at these in order to evaluate the ordinances in light of whether or not there's any bias, prejudice, racist language, either intentional or unintentional, or where like enforcement might be unequally enforced and cause like because of the way it's enforced have unintentional biases. So you know, in that light, I think it'd be helpful if there's a, you know, the committee looks at that in light of that. I think that's what the city council's, you know, primarily looking at. While it is helpful, I think also to review the ordinance in terms of bias or prejudice against folks with disabilities. They're looking at it from, I guess, both lenses. So
Yeah, I mean, I think that treating sidewalks in a different way from roadways is like that in itself is the bias.
I guess I would encourage some more look at how it biases people. You're muted, Angelique.
So talking about it being inaccessible, like Kate was saying, that covers that piece, correct? Because when I asked them,
I guess what I'm getting, I guess
they
what,
didn't
sorry.
say that to me. The description that you gave, they didn't give to me when I talked to them in the meeting about it. So
It was in that email, in the email that they had sent out to the heads of you. Says that they've been charged with the task of reviewing ordinances to identify any systematic or inherent bias or prejudice which may exist within our city ordinances, whether intentional or not.
Right. So that's why I was wondering about the not being accessible other than a written request fulfills that part.
I think that there's more that if a deeper read of this and the enforcement of it can would show that it's there's more to it than just that written request, because you know, where the way that the city has laid out its sidewalks, where the majority of the sidewalks are in denser neighborhoods where you have you know, typically at least in Easthampton, those denser neighborhoods are often lower income neighborhoods as compared to some of the outlying areas. Like the Plains doesn't have a lot of sidewalks. Then the Park Hill section of the city doesn't have sidewalks. So what happens is this is primarily being enforced on, or it primarily affects homeowners and renters in parts of the city where it just requires more people. There's more interaction between neighbors. You have small sections of sidewalks where if one neighbor on a street doesn't clear their sidewalk, it creates discontinuous sidewalk path for people who are using it. It also, the enforcement of it makes it a police issue. So where you have someone who is doing nothing wrong other than they didn't clear their sidewalk, now all of a sudden you have police knocking at their door, which could give rise to other problems where we have nationwide, we have problems with policing, where police are involved in too many low-level things where they then become that sort of first interaction with the police shouldn't have been involving the police, and now all of a sudden it escalates.
Excellent point.
That is a good point.
And additionally, the fines go to people who are more likely than not to be lower income folks. So it's also, if you can afford to live in a more expensive house, you don't have a sidewalk and you don't have to worry about clearing it. And you don't have to worry about the fines. But if you're someone who isn't well off economically, you probably have a sidewalk in front of your house. And if you don't clear it, then you're being fined for not clearing it. And then I think going back to what Eli had said, this is also just an issue of, the city. I think what you were getting at, Eli, was that the city built the sidewalks and the city should be responsible for maintaining them.
Yeah, I mean, well, that, but also, I mean, but also what I'm saying is when you say, well, like these people travel on this surface and these people travel on this surface, but we're going to give priority to one and not to the other. I mean, that seems very discriminatory to me.
So I guess, so thank you, Jimmy, for saying that, because I was looking at this through the eyes of that these are going to landlords who typically, I guess a landlord isn't seen as low income.
I mean, the first word is tenant,
right?
Occupant or owner. So
owner of the estate, yeah.
But I mean, if you're a renter and your landlord says it's your responsibility in the lease,
that's true. Yeah.
The fine goes to the tenant.
Okay. That's very true. Thank you for that.
And even if the fine doesn't go to the tenant, you made a great point about the police, because if the police are called and show up at the house, the landlord's not there. The tenants are there.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Okay. So I guess over the next month, thinking about all of those things, we can, if you have a few minutes in your own time to look at it that way and see what we could.
Angelique, can I encourage you to deal with this before the next meeting, to write a letter to Councilor Rothschild based off the discussion we just had? Because the original email that they sent out was in February.
Yeah.
And I know that they had been working on this for a while before, and if it waits till May, they could be wrapping up their review.
Okay.
So I would encourage you to send out an email to Lindsay to say that the commission discussed this, and these were the things that the commission discussed, and where they saw some issues that and that.
Okay.
If they need more information or want more explanation, that they can meet with us, or that you can provide them more information at a later point in time.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
I can work with you on the letter if you want.
That's fine. Sure. So they are, Counselor Rothschild is aware, because I did write a brief thing that we wanted to work on this one, but no detail that we met over it. So yeah, Eli, you and I can do that. I didn't realize I had been working on it for a while. I really thought it was a new thing. So thank you.
Cool. So just, yeah, let me know what time is good for you.
Okay. In the next couple of days, if you're available, so we can hurry up and get that out there.
Yeah, I don't have any plans.
Okay. Okay.
Do we need to vote on this letter?
I don't think so, right?
Okay.
No. And I can send you all a copy of what I write out.
I think that'd be good if you want to reply to Lindsay Rothschild and CC the rest of the committee with your reply.
Okay. Okay. I just want to, Bryce and Bobby, can you hear me? So were you able to hear what we were doing? What we're going to do? Yeah. We're going to write a letter where we talk about the sidewalks that are blocked and things like that, because that's pretty important, right? We've been talking about it for a while. So we're going to send it to the city councilor so that we can see what kind of changes we can make in the next year or so. Is that okay with you guys?
Yeah, that's fine. Sometimes when I go, because I go to Riverside every day, and when it snows out, my cousin plows the driveway. But the sidewalks are so bad that I have to stay home.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah. And I also, oh, sorry, Bobby.
Bobby, are you still talking?
No, that was Bryce.
Oh, right. Sorry, Bryce.
We have to, sometimes during the snowstorm, the sidewalks are so bad that I can get over the snow and go to my van to Riverside. My cousin plows the driveway, but my aunt tries to plow the sidewalk too, but it's really hard where you don't know where we can put the snow and stuff. So that's why I stay home during a snowstorm. We don't have to worry about it.
Sorry that happens to you.
Yeah. I think one thing I think is important to point out is that if any part of a route is impassable, then the route as a whole is impassable. So like it's, it's not good enough if things are, if it's, if there are like a few people holding out, right? And then eventually it gets cleared.
So guys, what would be the alternative to having like you said, the police come out?
I don't think that we have to actually identify that for what the council's working on. I think that they're just looking for us to point out to them where there are problems and biases in the ordinance. And it's really for, their review is to figure out what the alternatives are and how to rewrite it.
I was just wondering if you guys had an idea for an alternative.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think there's anything wrong with helping them out and suggesting an alternative.
Sure.
Yeah, because I don't know what else to do. Like, because the way Detective Scribner said, like you said, he's going up to people, handing them in person this flyer. He's not leaving it in a mailbox. He's not necessarily leaving it on a door, but like I can see how that would be intimidating or
Yeah. And how much are we paying him to do that? And how much, right? We could have been when we could have been just paying someone to clear the snow.
That's true. That's true. Okay. Okay, so also on the agenda was the calendar. I don't have a copy of the calendar right now, the calendar of events going forward. We wanted, Kelsey and I were working on, having whatever, like being able to post activities or what's happening in the world of folks with disabilities. So I don't have that, but we'll show that next time. We will hopefully be able to talk about the survey because we really want to, it's not been uploaded. Yeah, Eli, right?
Tell you the truth, I can't. I've been really busy the past few months, and I can't remember what we were doing then. I'm sorry.
I think we just
Maybe
lost Angelique. I don't know what just happened to her. I assume she'll be back.
Anyway, I'll talk to Kelsey, and we can figure out what's going on for next meeting, if that's okay.
We should give her another minute to rejoin the meeting.
Sure. Yeah, I guess so.
I've been quiet.
Was there anything else on the agenda that we needed to discuss? Eli, as you're the co-chair?
All right, let me see the agenda. Where's the agenda? I'm doing a very bad job at being co-chair.
I think you just got thrown in at the last second just now to lead the rest of the meeting. So
Okay. Oh, there's the meeting agenda. There it is. Okay. Sorry, hold on a minute. Okay, so obviously new member, newspaper article, contact list update. Did we do that?
we did not talk about it, but also I'm not really sure what was meant by that, whether or not she was providing an update or if she was just asking for more contact info.
All right. All right, we were about to talk about this calendar of events. Let's see. Police flyer, form document accessibility. I'm not sure what that's about. Does that ring any bells to anyone? Is this about accessibility of government documents?
I don't know what she meant by that when she put on the agenda.
Okay. And then we have Ecat closed captioning update. Who do we know who is going to give that update?
I assume it was Angelique or Kelsey, and neither one of them are here right now.
Okay. The survey, we talked about that. Goals, okay. Long-term goals. That's the last thing.
I think that's probably something we should wait for the rest of the committee to have a conversation about.
Yes. Okay. And yeah, and that's the whole agenda.
Okay. So then the next meeting would be scheduled for Tuesday, May 4th.
That's what it looks like.
And that would be at 10 a.m.
Yep. All right. Should we wait a few more minutes for Angelique?
No, it's 11 o'clock now.
It is, oh, okay.
And if there's nothing really more than to discuss, then I think we should probably adjourn. But you're the chair, so, or you're
Okay.
the acting chair.
All right. Is that a motion? Do I need to move to adjourn?
You can just move to adjourn.
Okay, I move to adjourn.
Thank you, everyone. See you next month.
All right.
Thank you.
See you
Bye,
next
everybody.
month. Bye.
Okay.